Well, we are now getting news that the ruling party in Taiwan is training civilians in the first state amidst heightened tensions with China. What we are also seeing is, of course, pictures of a burnt-out dummy Taiwanese bunker and a knapsack flamethrower on training flamethrower units of the RCBZ units of the People's Liberation Army of China. Now, what we have, of course, been seeing is that civilians are being receiving training on how to move an injured person as well as to apply first aid. This, of course, comes amid reports that Taiwan is fearing action from China. Well, Major General G.D. Bakshi is now with us on the phone line. Major General Bakshi, good afternoon. What we are understanding is that Taiwan right now, of course, has now gone on high alert and has begun war exercises because it fears that China perhaps could be attacking soon. What do you make of this?
Well, I don't think their fears are very misplaced, because don't forget that in 1962, when the Cuban Missile Crisis was on, China had taken advantage of that window of opportunity to attack India. Don't forget that. So if the Chinese utilize the window of opportunity so opened by the Ukraine conflict, well, this is a possibility, though I'm not very sure if the Chinese feel they are fully ready, because they have to be very certain that they will be militarily able to pull it off, and that, the reaction would not be detrimental to them.
Well, not just that, Major Bakshi, the other part of the story is the fact that China actually will be scared after the kind of sanctions that we've seen on Russia, primarily because, China, of course, is very dependent on trade in terms, of what it sends out to the West.
Look, the dependence is mutual. And if you see the Russian ruble, which had gone to less than half its value, has come back, has bounced back. So it all depends upon the lessons that China has drawn. And as far as the Ukraine war is concerned, it's not over. I mean, though on the information war sphere, the Americans have won hands down in trying to declare a Ukrainian victory, I'm not very sure if that is the way it's going to end. Mariupol is about to fall. The Russians are switching their forces. I mean, they couldn't be bothered. They are taking their time. They are doing it methodically. And the world can do nothing. I mean, you have imposed all the sanctions that you wanted to. You have added to the sanctions. And yet the Russian offensive is continuing relentlessly to capture all the areas that they want. That is the areas of Donbass, that is Donetsk and Luhansk, and the entire coast of the Black Sea and other. They are going to go for that. They are going methodically, and all that the world has done so far, all the ranting and raving on television, unfortunately has not been able to stop it.
Right, Major.
That is the ground reality. You can always win the information war. You can win the war on television. It is what is happening on the ground that will, at the end of the day, really decide.
Absolutely, Major General G.D. Bakshi. So you think, of course, Russia has been able to make sure that it achieves its aims, in a sense, in Ukraine. Thank you for the moment for joining us. Let me go across to Shivani Sharma, who's reporting from our Delhi newsroom. Shivani, give us more information in terms of the action that we are seeing from the Taiwanese side. We understand that they are conducting very serious war exercises.
Nupur, see, the Russian-Ukrainian war has been a lesson for a number of nations, and Taiwan, that has been raising concerns of Chinese muscle flexing in terms of its fighter jets entering its airspace. every month or so with large numbers. And on Friday, in fact, there was an incursion of 4 Chinese military aircrafts, 2 helicopters, the attack helicopters, and 2 other airplanes. So now what we see that it seems that Taiwan is now preparing that in case if China breaks out into a war with Taiwan, how Taiwan has to deal with it. And that's why we are seeing these videos of the training exercises that are going on that intend to train the civilians that in terms of a war or on a war zone, how the civilians can be evacuated, how they can be given first aid. So this is the kind of training that's going on in Taiwan by the ruling party. And we know that in last few months there are aggravated tensions between China and Taiwan. China has been known for its aggressive approach towards Taiwan, and also it's been seen that the Russian-Ukrainian war is giving ideas to China that it might go over aggressing Taiwan, as it has been trying to do so by flexing muscles and sending its aircrafts across the airspace of Taiwan. So now it seems that Taiwan is preparing for the impending danger or the war that it sees might come in the future.
Now, Shivani, of course, these pictures that we are playing out for our viewers are very reminiscent of what we saw in Ukraine. Just weeks before the war actually broke out, we saw a large number of civilians training in, taking up arms as well as acting as paramedics in case of a war. So, in that sense, these are very reminiscent, aren't they?
Exactly, Nupur. We saw that how the build-ups of Russia had started in the month of early February, and then how Ukraine and the civilians in Ukraine had started preparing in terms of getting trained to react to any kind of attack. And these pictures that we see here in Taiwan that are being arranged by the ruling party, the training exercises, the evacuation exercises, how to rescue people in the war time, are quite similar, and it shows that somewhere or the other Taiwan is preparing, it has started preparing to react to any kind of attack from Chinese territory, because when United States has been supplying weapons to Taiwan, there have been serious repercussions and reactions from Beijing. And adding on to that, there have been several attempts to intrude inside the boundary of Taiwan and also building up infrastructure near the borders. So now Taiwan sees the Russian-Ukrainian war as a lesson, and it is preparing, getting stronger internally in order to react to any kind of attack that may take place in the coming future.
Absolutely, and the recent months also, Shivani, we've seen a large number of incursions in their air defense zones. Shivani Sharma reporting from our New Delhi newsroom. Thank you.